And if it's not the snow, it is the flooding danger we're worried about. Within the past hour, evacuation orders were made for people living in the Skokomish Valley and parts of Mason County.
The county warns some people may be trapped in their homes for the next 3 days. King 5's Drew Mickelson continues our team coverage, joining us live now from Mason County. Drew.
Yeah, Joyce and Greg, feet of snow followed by inches of rain. That is truly a recipe for trouble, and Mason County has got plenty of that this afternoon. First, let's talk about that flooding risk. Folks who live in the Skokomish River Valley are being told unless they leave their homes tonight, they may be stuck there for the next 72 hours. Now, the river hasn't crossed over the road yet. That is something that routinely happens there. But the usual detour out of the valley is also closed because of power lines and trees blocking the road. Now, there was a minor landslide on Highway 108 this afternoon. DOT says they're worried about more of these happening. Now let's go up to Lake Cushman, where they have seen 3 to 4 feet of snow in the last couple of weeks. And that was before the heavy rain started last night. At least 4 trailers had roofs cave in. Lots of awnings, gutters, and carports are buckling under all this weight. Janet and Mitch Aksamatowski are trying to reduce their risk of the roof collapsing by shoveling off the heavy, wet snow.
It's been hell. It has been so much work. It's like coming out every day and just looking out the window and saying, okay, what are we doing today?
Firefighters told us today that the rain can triple the weight of the snow. And those roofs that are out there on some of those 70s era trailers, especially the flat roofs, just are not meant to hold that much weight. That's where they're seeing the problems. There was an older couple, some senior citizens who were disabled, who had to be helped out of their trailer after the roof caved in. The Red Cross is caring for them right now. Live in a wet Mason County, Drew Mickelson, King 5 News.
Wet is right. Look at all that water. Okay, along the coast, the waters are rising. This is the scene in Aberdeen tonight where some streets, as you can see, are already underwater.
King 5's Lionel Donovan is in Aberdeen. And Lionel, how's it looking there? It looks awfully wet.
Wow.
That is absolutely right, Greg. It is very wet down here. As you can see behind me, we're at an intersection on East Wishka Street. And as you can see, the images speak for themselves. We have vehicles trying to make their way through this intersection, but this water has been pooling significantly throughout the day, not just here at this intersection, but in other parts of the area as well. We've talked to some of the shop owners here, and they're saying that this is also part of a rising tide, that this rain is not helping when it comes to this water levels that we're seeing in the streets. And we actually talked to the owner of the Twin Harbor Eye Center over here, and she says that her biggest concern at this point is getting the water out of her eyeglass shop. She says that when she came in, that she sent us pictures of her shop that was completely flooded this morning, and employees have had to spend the entire day pumping water out of the shop, getting it back out into the streets. Now, Rule says that this is the 4th time that her shop has been flooded since she opened her doors back in 1998. And she says although it will be a hassle working around all of this, she says her team has her back.
This is the deepest here. And then in there, and then this part is a little higher, but that was filled with water too. And I could show you, I showed you the picture before. It's going to be inconvenient working around the process of drying the building up. But I've got amazing employees. They were here at 6:30, getting everything off the floor.
Now, Rule said that because this is something that has happened before, she knows the process of getting the water out of her shop. But she says her biggest concern will be keeping the water out of her shop, that as this rain continues and with a potential rising tide, that may be hard to do. But for now, we're live in East Aberdeen. Lionel Donovan, King 5 News.